Why did the pigeon sit on the clock?
Because he wanted to be on time to catch the morning crumbs for a very healthy breakfast snack.
Why do birds fly south for the winter?
Because it is too far to walk there.
Why do pigeons have fan tails? To make sure they stay cool during the flight, hence. I think they just like to show off their feathers.
Why did the pigeon bring a suitcase to the park?
Because he wanted to go on a vacation and leave his worries behind.
Why do birds fly south for the winter? Because it is way too far to walk, and the flight prices are just getting far too high these days.
Why did the cat bring a ladder to the party?
Because he heard the drinks were on the house.
Why did the cat bring a ladder to the park? I have no idea. Why did he bring it? Because he wanted to reach the high notes.
It is truly wonderful to see such gentle creatures share a moment of peace together, reminding us all of the simple beauty found in nature.
Why did the pigeon bring a suitcase to the park?
Because he wanted to have a flight of fancy while he enjoyed his afternoon snack.
Why did the pigeon sit on the wooden ledge for so long?
Because he was waiting to show off his beautiful feathers to everyone who passed by today. Why did the pigeon get promoted at work? Because he was outstanding in his field, especially when it came to carrying messages and spreading his beautiful tail feathers. Why did the bird get invited to every party?
Because he was just so unflappable and always knew how to wing it during the conversation.
Why did the pigeon bring a suitcase to the park?
Because he wanted to have a flight and a little bit of luggage to carry his birdseed. Why did the pigeon sit on the man's shoulder at the party? Because he heard the guy was someone who would always give him a little bread.
Why did the pigeon bring a suitcase to the party? Because he heard it was going to be a real flight of fancy for all the birds in attendance.
Why did the pigeon sit on the man's shoulder during the party? Because it wanted to be a part of his outfit and look extra fancy for the big day.
Why did the pigeon bring a suitcase to the park?
Because he wanted to have a flyaway vacation and see the world from above. Why do cats always get their way? Because they are persuasive and have a talent for keeping their claws sharp while they wait for the right moment.
Why did the cat sit on the computer?
Because it wanted to keep an eye on the mouse.
Why did the pigeon sit on the wall and stay so still?
Because he was trying to be a statue in the park and watch the world go by. Why did the pigeon go to school?
Because it wanted to improve its curriculum.
Why did the pigeon decide to sit on the rooster? I suppose it figured that if it wanted to wake up early, it might as well get a ride from the professional.
Why did the bird go to the doctor?
Because it had a wing ache and needed a quick checkup to get back to flying again. Why did the bird get in trouble at the wedding? Because he was acting a little too foul and decided to crash the ceremony.
Why did the pigeon sit on the wall?
Because he wanted to see if the grass was really greener on the other side of the courtyard.
Why do pigeons always fly away when you try to get close to them? Because they are just winging it and do not want to be grounded today.
Why do pigeons make such great dancers?
Because they always have the perfect fan for their tail feathers.
Why did the pigeon sit on the fence and start telling jokes?
Because he wanted to see if he could ruffle some feathers with his puns.